Today is not day one. Today is like day 300. As a competitor, 2025 in SRO GT4 racing, the results were not indicative of what the effort was. You know, we didn't have the greatest results. But on the other hand, we took a new team, a new operation, a completely new team owner, and collectively created something that has now spawned into 2 cars, something completely different. So I look at last year as a learning year, a building year, a development year, and yeah, the results weren't how we wanted, but you know, not everyone was ready to like carry the flag to be championship winning. There was a lot of setbacks in the first year. There was a lot of frustration in the first year. There's a lot of, I mean, yeah, there was races where it's like, I got in the car a lap down. We're already out of the race, basically. And that, as a pro, you know, that's like frustrating because, okay, we have a car that's the fastest car on track. And there's nothing you can do at that point, so you're just kind of, this is it. Everyone in our team wants to win races. Every single one of them. And many of them are used to winning races. This is our first test together as a team. How do we make this team continue to grow? But there's a lot of like pressure that comes down to weeks leading up to this first race.
My goal the last couple of years has been, you know, I'm not going to be racing much longer. I'm a gently aging gentleman driver.
So the hardest thing about the situation is that, like, we weren't just starting a new team. We're starting a new team centered around a new driver that wants to do this, you know, to like kind of complete their bucket list, you know, like to do something that they've really enjoyed. And that's been actually the shining light of the whole thing for me. It's like, this is someone that has said, hey, I want to do this. Why I can still do this.
I know I can't be in the car much longer, or at least I don't think so. I love the paddock. The only way I'm going to be around a paddock is if I start my own team. My definition of starting your own team in motorsport is somebody foolish enough to acquire the assets to go racing. I don't claim to know a lot about the world of motorsport, but I know enough about business and marketing and operations to do a little damage. So I thought, you know, if I have the right people, the right pro driver who I met in that year in 2024, the right manager and crew chief in Kelly Brown, I thought, man, if I can get these guys and a couple of the crew members, that's the beginning of, that's the starting point for a team.
He just loves doing it. And you know what? We need every one of those people that we can get. So as a pro driver, you know, you're only as good as your last race. I am extremely passionate about racing. I love it. And Eddie's development has been a steady progress. And with any steady progress, you've got setbacks. You've got like, you climb the ledge and you may have a stumble. And then you have to like, okay, listen, this happens with everybody. You've got to rebuild that. And we've done that. We're starting off 2026 in a completely different ballgame.
Racing absolutely defines who I am. My name is Laura Hayes, and I race cars, and I've been doing it a long time. So I got started a long time ago now, thanks to my mom and dad. So they both came from kind of racing families and got me started when I was little.
The situation with Laura was almost serendipitous.
Laura Hayes, she's such a great kid, and she's so quick, and she's just great to be around. She kind of fits the environment. She jumped right in, super excited.
I know Eddie was looking for a good AM driver, and Alan's like, I know one. I raced with her last year, and we had a great phone call and hit it off, and it didn't take very long as the deal was done, and I think a matter of minutes. Getting to share this life with so many people who I care about and who care about me. I've been so lucky that I've somehow figured out to surround myself with just so many incredible people who have brought me to this point in my career.
Fun to be able to provide that opportunity for somebody and not just really think about your own driving. She'll progress as a pro driver, and who knows where she'll end up.
It's all that I've known in my life. I think I do it a lot for my mom and my dad, because they sacrificed, everything to keep me going as long as they did.
You know, 3 years ago, I was in pretty dark place mentally. Yeah, the whole reason I'm even here racing or driving cars to begin with, it's all my wife. Yeah, she basically forced me to pursue my dream of racing and wanting to do it all my life. We just could never afford it. Yeah, the thing I love about racing is there's always something that you can do better. That's like probably my favorite thing about driving is I'm a perfectionist, and it doesn't ever allow me to achieve perfection. So it's a constant chase is one of my favorite things about it.
Alan is quick hands, somewhat untested.
They might have confidence in my pace, but I want them to have confidence in me as a race car driver, that I'm going to go out and keep the car clean and finish the race. I want them to trust me and for me to be able to deliver the result, because these guys bust their butts on the car and give me a great race car. I want to give them the result in return.
Yeah, I mean, as far as teammates go, I trust Alan because I've had the time to sit down and talk to him, and I know that he goes like, hey, if you need to short me in a race, if we need to get out early or not run new tires or whatever it takes, I just want to win races. I'm like, I mean, when you get someone that says that, even as a pro, it's tough when you look at pro drivers to see pro drivers put their ego aside. When I race and coach and drive and plan my life, everything's in steps, everything's a procedure, everything has to go a certain way, because you have to take some of that emotion out of it, and you have to take the passion out of it and start to think with your brain and not your heart.
That's what we were talking about as far as setting the back of the car. It's a pretty quick step into throttle. It's like 30-40%. So what that does, it does two things. You see how much steering angle it got in at that point. If you tip in the throttle and you're trying to carry momentum, the steering angle is going to have to be more or the same amount. It's just going to wash the front. Because as it takes the weight slowly away from the front, when you're cresting the hill, there's nothing there.
The thing about racing that I love is the timesheet doesn't lie. It's all there. Coaching with Mark, you can look at the data. He can tell you, exactly where you're losing it or gaining, what you're doing well, and it's just all there in the numbers. So it's something I've kind of found that I'm naturally able to translate it, and yeah, I just love the whole process.
Yeah, before, so then we'll do our set down, make all our changes.
You did a turn and a half.
No, I didn't want to.
Well, let's. Well, we're low on. Check your ride height again, but I mean we're a little less rake than we had. Just trying to get a really nice balance on it for our pro, and then we'll tweak from there. So I'll come up with a baseline setup. I mean, part of my process is I'll work with any car, work a baseline with the car's got a good balance. Then you make fine tunes for track and fine tunes for driver, but still kind of zeroing in on what this thing wants. I think we're actually pretty close. I mean, I showed up with, the car was pretty close when I showed up here.
Turn on that one.
And that might get us everything we want.
We're getting, that's what I was gonna do. We're getting our toe close because it's way off.
Yeah, okay, good.
Sure
That'll,
everything kind of
yeah,
settles.
yep. Yeah, but I think before I tweak on the rear, those front cameras are perfect.
Yeah.
Rears are perfect. Look at that.
What do you?
This car's better than it was before it was crashed.
I know.
Yeah.
You saying just the right front, or do you?
Just the right front. Get it to see if we can get it even. Get us to another 2 mil, probably a turn. And I'm just more worried about tech because our numbers were so close in tech.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, which is all that really matters. And like I said, at 95.
I don't feel a lot of pressure yet. I think because this all happened so fast, it hasn't quite sunk in yet, and I think it will tomorrow once I pull down pit lane and into our pit box and start the whole rhythm again. But yeah, it's gonna be a big deal, and it's gonna be fun and interesting, and it's going to be a challenge just learning a brand new car. I've never driven this car, and to have to do that on the race weekend, you got to crack the whip and get it done. Just over a week ago, I thought that I'd be watching this race from my couch in South Carolina. The ultimate goal is, get to know everybody here at the team. Everybody seems awesome so far. Been really nice, very helpful. Start to get a handle on the car hopefully over the next couple of days, and we're going to be competing in the AM class, so I'm competitive. I want to get out there and be fighting for the win, So I'm going to do my best to take everything I've learned over all these years and how fast can I learn this car, and work together with the team and make the right setup changes to the car to make it a little better and help Eddie get faster. So yeah, that's like a personal goal of mine. It'd be neat to be out there fighting for the win.
Went out in the first session and kind of, got my bearings with the car. Like first lap, it was completely alien because this thing's like pretty race car compared to some of the other GT4 cars I've driven. So you're like leaned way back and, everything's different. You drive it once and it feels alien, and then Mark's like, do this, this, this. If you simply just go do it, it's like magic. Awesome having him as a resource. Made it easy on me as a driver for sure.
I think there's a situation where with the right co-driver, with a pro, that he's got this willingness to be like, tell me what to do.
So when they called in and said that I was P1 in class, I was honestly pretty shocked. I knew I put together like a pretty good lap. There was maybe, a little bit left on the table with some errors, but I was decently happy with the lap. And then they're like, yeah, you're P6 overall, P1 in class. I was like, oh, well, it's a pretty good spot to be in.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Eddie right now, like watching his the live stream and just knowing where he's come from a year ago with it being his first year SRO GT4 racing, and what he's accomplishing now, like on day 2 of this. I know he's really stoked, and we're all really excited for him.
We did a quali sim. We ended up with P1. The 37 car. We're rock stars as well in the AM category. Personal best for Eddie today by several seconds. So everything's looking good. John and the team have got the cars really well sorted. John Kelly and all the guys are just really well sorted. So we still have some work to do. Obviously, we don't. This is
practice, but it's nice to be on the sharp end of the grid, and I don't know, we go back and we look at data and we look at more stuff and we find out how we can improve.
It was probably the most comfortable I've ever felt in a race car, to finally, after a long time, to gain some confidence in a GT4 car and be a little more racy and get after it and hit my marks and kind of do all the things that Mark Miller has been trying to, you know, instill in me over the last 2 years. You know, we took some big chunks out of that on this last session, and I gotta say it feels great, and looking forward to the next session and see if I can grab another half second or so.
Everyone bunched together here as we get ready for the start in just a few quarters time. This is the starting grid. It's Workman on the overall pole position. Josh Green, a champion a year ago, starts alongside. Kevin Bohm also won a championship last year. New team for him. Yves Baltas alongside. Then it's Alan Patton and Luca Mars back to row 4. That's where you find Sam Craven and Alex Garcia. 5th, 8 belongs to Chris Spada and Laura Hayes.
I mean, as soon as you get in the race car and you tighten those belts and do your radio checks and, you know, they say clear out and, okay, now I'm heading down pit lane, and you're on the pit speed limiter, and then you press that button and, you know, pedal to the metal up this crazy turn 1 hill here at Sonoma. Yeah, all that pressure melts away like so fast.
With Patton in the Mercedes for DOME Motorsport and Luca Mars. Sam, as we await the green flag, there it is, the hill to turn 1 for the first time.
Yeah, and that made it relatively easy there for Western Workman, our pole sitter, to get the jump there as they climb the hill. Very tricky opening couple of corners here. Is blind, and when you're in traffic like this, you literally are not seeing the road whatsoever. As you crest that hill there, plunge down the hill.
Alan Patton, who's off track, a BMW off track at the top of the hill as well. The rest of the field continues on.
See the damage there to the left front corner, like you've broken a tie rod or something. Got no steering ability in that Mercedes.
How frustrating is it, all the work that goes into the off-season? You're all geared up, amped up to go racing for the first time in 5 months, and it's over before even a green flag lap is completed.
I often sit and think about the tentacles from a racing paddock.
Started the race and basically got freight trained by every other car, especially the BMWs just had so much power on us. The car behind me just decided he wanted to win the race when there wasn't really any space there. And so yeah, we received quite a bit of damage, unfortunately, with how hard of a hit it was. And just took us out, couldn't continue.
This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun for him.
I joined in the team in their excitement for seeing new results, but for me it's like, that's what's supposed to happen. What the hell we came here to do? Pack up, grab your shit, job done, and you go home. And then you come and you do it again.
The team all together collectively is good.
This is fun. So you better make sure it's fun. So you gotta have the right people around.
Fortunately, Alan got tagged by somebody, so it's not fun when you're coming up and you see your, partner in crime face the wrong direction, but kept it clean, and Eddie got in the car and did a great job, and we're P3, baby, so first podium of the year.